What a treat. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, get your cameras on, please. You'll have a much better coaching session with me if you put your cameras on. I am so excited. Wow, what a blast. I'm seeing so many people I love. It's so exciting. So, we're talking about selling a house a week today. This is probably one of my best strategies. I'm telling you right now, you will be taking notes. I want your cameras on. Go into the chat, please. Tell me where you're calling in from. Let everybody know where you are so they can send you referrals. This is about a network of people coming together through Sherri Johnson Coaching. I want you to all benefit from that. Let's just double check that our chat is working. Okay, in the car. That's okay. Please leave your cameras off if you're in the car. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. Good to see you. You look great. It's been a while. I love your hair short. Oh my gosh. You just cut it looks like. I see people, oh my gosh, Winchester, Ohio. That's here close to me. Crofton office. Carolyn, what city is that in? I feel like I should know that. Wow, everybody is getting on. Again, make connections right here in this room. This is a mastermind session. I also hope you are fabulously in love with the title because frankly, I'm going to teach you that you think you can't sell a house a week, but you really can. And there's so many ways to generate leads. There's so many ways to win at this business. Please let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from, where you're calling in from. I see Carrie Arias. Hey, how are you? Beautiful as ever. Great to see your smiling face. Everybody, go into the chat. Let us know. My Instagram is Sherri Johnson. Yes. So I'll give you that in a minute. I'm going to put some slides up that'll have that. But this group we meet every Thursday, unless there's a holiday on that actual day. So next Thursday is July 3rd. We will be meeting. More of a reason to make sure you are meeting during a holiday week, right? Because that holiday falls this year, at least closer to a weekend. I don't know about you guys, but when July 4th falls on like a Tuesday, right? Just messes up the whole sales week for me. I'm sorry, but that's just like everybody's distracted. I want you, if you're just getting on, please let me know where you're calling in from. But also, I know that you have a better engaged coaching session with me if your cameras are on and you're muted or ready to talk. If you want to talk, great. If you just want to chat with me, that's fine too. But experience does show that you will make eye contact with me. I will make eye contact with you, and I will know that you are hearing and getting what we're talking about, right? Hi, Darlene. Oh my gosh, Philly, Kiana Williams. Good to see you from the Bahamas. Okay. I want to go. I'm coming to visit you. And I love Julie. Great. I love your background and your shades. Okay, Denny Gray's in the waiting room. All right, everybody. I'm going to pull up the slide deck. I'm excited. I see so many smiling faces. I haven't seen some of you in a while. It really is making my day. If you've not been on a Sherri Johnson mastermind or session like this, please let me know that too. If it's been a while, I know who you are, but if it's your first time, welcome. If it's your welcome back. If you're not, Karen, we've got a green screen for Karen Marquardt. I don't know what's happened, if that's on purpose or not. Totally fine. If it is, maybe you didn't know. We're seeing a bright, huge lime green screen for you. All right, so put in your chat the questions if you have any. If you're here today, before I lose seeing all of you, how many of you are here because you want to sell a house a week? List a house a week, right? List or sell a house a week. So what I'm so excited about is I'm going to share with you the breakthrough that I had when I sat there saying, like, I want to sell a house a week. And I'm going to share the story with you, and we'll get into the slide deck in a moment. But I had sold 27 houses my first year, 1996. And I'm sitting there looking at this ad that a woman at our company, Smith Kramer Company in Cleveland, her name is Margie DeMaestri, and she was out of the Mentor office of Ohio, in Mentor, Ohio. And she had an ad with her posed, probably, with the arms crossed and like a real estate pose. And it said, I sell a house a week, on this ad, right? And I was like, I like the sounds of that, right? I want to sell a house a week. And I had already had a goal to double the 27. So it never occurred to me that 54 sales would be a house a week. But the way that she was so smart in her marketing to say, I sell a house a week, made me realize, oh my gosh, like I want to be able to say that. And so I sat there, and most of you know I have a system called the Goldmine Pipeline. Stacy Watson's in the house. All right, Stace. And so right here in Cleveland. And when you think about, like, when you see this ad that says, I sell a house a week, right? And some of you are like, that seems crazy. We're going to cover that in a minute. Okay. I could never manage a house a week. Well, actually you can, right? If you're sitting there thinking that seems unmanageable, I'm going to get you through that as well. The breakthrough that I had was I had sold 27 houses in my first year. And I was like, all right, I had a goal of 54, and I was looking at the Goldmine Pipeline, and I said, how many people do I need to have on this thing in order to make sure I have a listing and a sale every week, and I can list 4 and sell 4 every week, or, a month, right? 4 houses a month. And for some of you, that's going to be a massive game changer, double or triple your sales potentially, right? So I sat there, and as I was looking at my Goldmine Pipeline sheet and trying to figure out how many people need to be on this thing at all times so that every month I have consistent, predictable income, I was like, all right, I sell 2 houses a month now. It's like 1997. And I go, 2 weeks, 2 houses, right? What am I doing with my time on the other 2 weeks? And now, don't get me wrong. I know how much it takes to keep a deal together, to list a house, all the stuff. Like, I know how long all of that takes. I get it. Okay. But there are 40 hours in our work week, right? And I was like, I sell 2 houses a month now. What am I doing with the other 2 hours? And what occurred to me, and the breakthrough that I had, that I want you to have the epiphany with me right now, is that I said, if I'm not selling a house a week, I'm doing this wrong. Okay. So some of you are nodding your heads and smiling and having I hope, your own breakthrough. Right before the breakthrough is a little bit of a breakdown, right? When I can disrupt your day, when I can disrupt your patterns, when I can disrupt the way that you're doing the business right now, so that you can add a couple of small tweaks. Like, we're not revolutionizing. I'm not trying to change the way you do your business. I want you to think smarter and not have to work harder, right? If we work smarter and we'll maximize our systems and have a better strategy, you'll sell a house a week. And so what occurred to me was, if I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this right. Is anyone having that thought with me now? Like, there's a way you can do that. The scarcity issue you have is that you may not have enough people on the pipeline. So you're like, I don't have enough leads to sell 52 houses a year, Sherri. That's a different story. We fixed that by filling the pipeline. The first thing you need to realize is that you have to look at a top agent and you say those people are crazy. And people would say that to me. Oh, I can't do that many deals. I give top quality service. Well, when I was selling 50 plus houses a year, I gave exceptional Ritz-Carlton level service, right? I had systems in place. We delivered. We gave what my friend Sandy Raines calls the wow factor. She's on this call. She's top agent in Ohio. Can't believe you're on this. I love you. The wow factor. So we know that. Here's how I want you to look at this. If I gave you 52 people, 52 bona fide actual sales, I said, Carrie Arias, I'm going to give you 55 or 52 transactions. They're all going to buy. They're all going to list. Would you figure it out? Yes. But we all would. We would all figure it out. So we have to block out that thing that's telling us, I don't want to do more business because I can't service it properly. That's a cop-out. Sorry. But I'm assuming that since you're on this call, you want to get to 50 plus transactions, or maybe you're already at 50 and you want to double that. I don't know where you are in your business life cycle. I think it's amazing wherever you are. But to take us to 1 a week, you have to actually have a strategy that says, I'm going to sell a house a week. Now, if you believe that, write that down. Just say, I'm selling a house a week. I'm going to sell a house a week. Write it down. And see, what's great about coaching is I'm not making you great. I'm pulling out the greatness you already have inside of you. You actually already have everything you need to do this. We just have to change the way that you think a little bit. Because right now your scarcity might be, I can't manage 4 deals a month. Yes, you can. I promise. I promise you can. Right? I hope you have the problem where you call us and say, I have to hire an assistant. We just had that call a couple of minutes ago. I just was on a call with an agent. She did 17 new listings in June. Okay. 17 and 14 or 15 under contract. So we can, and should have an assistant. She needs one. She needs one. Okay. So I want you to think about what could I do if I didn't, what could I do, right? If I knew I wouldn't fail. And so our biggest, block is ourselves. Like we end up getting in our own way. And I call that like, first of all, it's sad and it's going to lead to, mediocrity. Somebody was on this call last week and said, I have to get out of mediocrity. The breakthrough you're about to have right now, I hope you take notes. I hope you write down action items. And if you just take notes and do nothing with any of this, you spend an hour with me or 40 minutes with me, that's great. But what I really love, and this is the thing that, to me is the greatest thing in the world. Okay. When someone texts me, they call me, they say, I implemented that system and I have 3 new listings. I implemented Gold Mine Pipeline. I have 3 times the volume I usually sell, right? There's nothing better. Just with an agent this week, they did $3 million last year. They have $15 million on their pipeline right now. Okay. So I guarantee you walk out of here today and you put these things into action, you're going to get results. So we have to focus not on activities. You have to 10x your activities. What you have to do is focus on the results. Did I get a listing appointment today? Is your calendar full of appointments? If it's not, none of this is going to happen. Okay. We judge ourselves on, I made 10 calls today. Okay. Well, if that didn't produce 1 appointment, you have to make a few more, right? You have to keep going until it's done. You've heard me say, I will blank until blank happens. And, I've often said to people like, here's the magic formula, right? And the magic formula is keep doing something until something happens. My day is not done until I have actually secured 4 listing appointments for the week, not the month, for the week. That listing appointment doesn't have to be the one where they're signing their names and hiring you. That's the ultimate listing appointment. I'm talking about just secure some appointments for the pre-listing where you're going to go out and look at the house for the first time. Okay. Doesn't mean, right? It does not mean that we're signing listing agreements, but every one of those, think about it. Every one of those appointments is going to take you through the sales process a lot faster with those people. 82% of the time, the person that gets the first listing appointment ends up listing that house. Okay. But you discount that lead and say, oh, they're not ready yet. That's not a good lead, Sherri. But guess what? It is a good lead. And every lead is a good lead. And they will buy or sell eventually. You have to, please, you have to stick with those people. It takes 11 months. It takes 11 months. Okay. I love it. Rizwana says, I remember my business partner saying, if you are in your head, you are dead. The overthinking kills us. I call it getting ready to get ready. We are getting ready to get ready. Before this call is over, I'm letting you schedule a 20-minute free coaching call. 20 minutes free coaching. I'll show you this again at the end. This is a free call, everybody. And you can just scan that QR code and book your call. Calendar books up quickly. This is 20 minutes of coaching. We'll help you put this plan in place. We'll help you with your Gold Mine pipeline. We can answer any questions for you. We can actually help you catapult your pipeline or get you into what I call selling a house a week. So I created this course because it occurred to me that most people don't think that they can sell a house a week. Okay. We have some more people coming on, and I'm going to jump into content. And one more slide. The Sherri Johnson You Rock podcast has been retired. However, there are 320 episodes in this particular podcast that I've been told in an elevator at NAR. I had an agent say, she heard me talking on the phone, and she said, I had a baseball hat on, I was just running. She's like, "You're Sherri Johnson. I recognize your voice." And I said, "Oh, you must listen to my podcast." And she said, she grabbed my arm. And she said, "I not only listened to your podcast, I've sold 5 houses from your podcast." Okay. So I want you to jot down You Rock Real Estate Podcast with Sherri Johnson. It's on all podcast platforms. The new one is coming out. It's called The Sherri Johnson Show, and it's launching. I'm so excited. Many of you that I see right now, I'm going to call you. I want you to be on my podcast. If you want to be on my podcast, please connect with me. Let me know. But I'm going to pull some phenomenal people, rock stars all over the world. Actually, I met a woman in South Africa. She's coming on. I've got a lineup of interviews and people, and I can't wait. But go listen to this, okay? The content in here will help you. It will literally change your life. I need you to write the word strategy down, and I need you to say, I'm going to sell a house a week is literally that, okay? That is a strategy. That's called being on offense. When you play offense, you win. When you're just running around on defense, you're running around doing the business, running around, chaotic. I call it crisis selling. When we're crisis selling, it is horrible, feels horrible because it is horrible. Crisis selling is the up and down roller coaster that you're on, where you sell a house one month, you don't sell, some sales, no sales, sales. So I need you to have a better strategy. This is all about having a better strategy to win. That's it. That's all you have to do. Like literally do it. And I think what I want to say is, regardless of what's happening, that settlement we had doesn't matter today, right? We all said this would be like this. In fact, most of our clients are making 3% on a buyer side now and 4% on list. I think where I'm saying here. We've actually increased our value and literally increased our value and increased our fee. But none of this stuff has anything to do with what you're capable of doing. Do you listen to the noise and consume it, or do you drown it out and say that does not have any impact on what I'm doing? Like winners don't think about all this stuff, right? They push through. They don't listen to it. You cut out the people in your life that are not serving you. I need you to listen to that. Half of this mindset shift, okay, is going to come from you saying, like, I'm done with the nonsense. It doesn't help you. It's not helping you sell more houses, right? If you're looking at something, what we focus on expands. If you focus on, I'm going to sell a house a week, you will. It's literally that. I don't mean that it's easy, but it has to start here. When you actually visually see something happening, this definition I love, the mindset is think it into existence. Well, if not you, it's going to be somebody else. What's the difference between making $30,000 a year and making $350 or $500? Or even better, $750 to $1 million as an individual solo agent? Like, it's out there for every one of you on this call. But it starts with having, am I thinking in a scarcity mindset or an abundant mindset? And that is real. And I can't change that for you. Only you can. It all is it is literally mindset. And then after that is what you put into action. If you are not executing and putting a premium on high execution, like, it's great when the referral shows up and you're like, oh, look at that one card, it worked, that's fine. But you can't go out and hope it happens. You have to go make it happen. Tony Robbins talks about the number one differentiator in people who are successful is the word hunger, right? The word hunger. If you have hunger, you are never satisfied. I need you to say, like, I need to be sold on yourself first. Like, think about that. That word enthusiasm, the last 4 letters, I am already sold myself, right? IASM. I am already sold myself. Bingo. Okay. So are sales down, or is your belief in yourself down? I'm going to tell you that brand new agents coming into this market, while it is strange, but those that have a better mindset are winning. If you come into this and you say you're using old scripts, you're still talking about old things, it doesn't matter. That's what's so great about real estate agents. For the most part, we are extremely, agile. We can pivot and make a new plan or say a new script and realize that didn't work. It doesn't work anymore. We have to go with a new script, something that was 3 months ago, right? You have to say to yourself, I can do this. I need a pipeline of people. That's it. This is all going to base literally on your strategy. Now, one of the biggest strategies I have, as you know, is to maximize every listing and every sale. And I say you should be selling 3 to 5 houses off of every listing, right? So our Sherri Johnson Academy content is all built around how to leverage every single listing into more listings and sales. And if you're not doing that, that's a total missed opportunity. What do I mean? Well, you list a house, and I think right now that you put the sign up too soon. You don't call the neighbors. You have an open house. Somebody sells it, and we move on to the next deal, right? What if you could get 3 to 5 houses, 3 to 5 other deals off of that one house? That's being strategic. We have a program called micro farming, and we actually have 6 different micro farming strategies that will literally find homes that are not yet listed for your buyers who want to buy something and there just isn't enough inventory, or the inventory that they've looked at is not good enough, or launching your brand new listing into a neighborhood and getting 3 to 5 sales from the neighbors for potential listings or referrals from those neighbors. Are you doing a neighborhood open house preview? That needs to be inserted into your marketing strategy, right? Before the sign goes up, can you call 10 to 20 neighbors and let them know you just listed this property? They could pick their neighbor. All of this helps you leverage that one house into multiple sales. Like, the thing about listings is they create more listings and sales. My program called Make 50 Grand at Your Next Open House is exactly built on this. This is a strategy I used when I was an agent. I would literally go every house. I would get 5 people. They would all have a house to sell. Strategically, I sat at a move-up neighborhood, a move-up house. They all had a house to sell, and I went to the open house, you guys, to get listing appointments. That's the best part of the open house, getting an appointment before they walk out of the house. So if you don't know these strategies and I'm hearing them for the first time, they're literally on the academy. They're part of our coaching program, and you can also hear them in the podcast. But a light version of them, of course, but the full content is really what's going to change you. So how do you put a plan in place that's going to help you sell more off of every house? That's what we're talking about. It doesn't, between now and the end of the year, can you sell a house a week? Yes. I have agents. This is such a great story. I had an agent in Alabama who he heard this story half year, through the year about sell a house a week. And he recalibrated his goals for the year and started with, July 1. And the rest of the year, he had new goals, and he ended the year. He's a brand new agent. He had $14 million this first year. $14 million in sales in Tuscaloosa. Like, hello. Okay. Was not buying leads. Literally said, I'm doing that. I want you to point at me and say, I'm doing that, right? I'm doing a house a week, because that's what he got out of my 1-hour presentation literally at their company. So can you recalibrate your rest of your year right now? Yes. You can also look at it as maybe you double what you did the first half. That's another challenge I want to throw at you, right? What happens when you sell a house a week and you're normally selling 2 a month. You've literally doubled your units, you've doubled your volume. Ultimately, you will double your income. Okay. But it all starts with appointments. So I need you to write this down. You need to book yourself appointments. Okay. That is the only way we're going to be face to face with an actual consumer. Okay. If you're not making appointments, another week is going to go by, nothing will happen. So we actually have to have appointments or nothing is going to happen. Like literally you will have 0 sales, 0 listings. Nothing will happen. Okay. You look at 1 more unit per month in your sales strategy. If that takes you to 4, great. If it's not, then you need 2 more units a month. If you want to go from, 12 units a year to 52, it is all possible. You just need to have a better strategy. If you focus on setting listing appointments in your notepad right now, I want you to write down how many appointments do I need to go on that if I converted 60 to 70%, meaning not because you lost the listing, but because they're not ready yet. If 60% of them listed this month, you would hit your goal of 4 new listings a month. Is that 3 to 4 appointments a week? I don't know. I don't know how good you are at converting those appointments, but I want you to write down right now, I need to go on X number of listing appointments. And this again, if I define what a listing appointment is, hopefully it's at the house, but it's also the pre-appointment. I'm coming to see your house. I can save you time and money before you start the home remodeling or the light staging or remodeling that you're going to do. I can save you a lot of time and money. Who doesn't want to save time and money, right? Like everybody. So get appointments by adding value and meet people where they are, and you will get that business. One of the things I say all the time is that you need business 6 months from now. So when you hear people say, I'm not ready for 6 months, what I say to those people is, wow, that's great. I'm not going anywhere and I will work at your pace and your speed. Whether this is 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, I work at your pace and speed, and I want to earn your trust and your business. And actually that of your friends, family members, neighbors, right? And so can you imagine for a minute, why would I go on an appointment now? I just had 3 people this week tell me that I went on an appointment and these people told me they weren't going to list till September. And they signed the listing agreement. It's going live July 2nd. She said, thank goodness I listened to you, right? She said, I would not have booked an appointment with those people. And you told me to get an appointment. She showed up at their house and they were like, we're actually not doing this in September. We want to do it now. So 82% of the time, write this down, 82% of the time, you're going to be the one because you made that first initial listing appointment. Stop ruling out that they're going to pick you. 82% of the time, they pick the first person. Be the first one in the door. Stop ruling out the fact that these are bad leads. Like, have you ever, this is horrible. And I know some of you on here may not have ever heard me talk about this, but have you ever lost an opportunity, okay, because you didn't follow up with them? And you call them and they're like, you see, first of all, you don't even have to call them. You can see the house is listed. That's no fun, is it? You see the house is listed, or worse off, you see it in the MLS. Has that ever happened, right? You end up and you're like, gosh, right, Patricia? you're like, oh my gosh, those people told me they weren't ready, right? And you're like, why are you reminding me this, Sherri, right? But we ruled them out in our head first because we said, they're not ready yet. Why would I meet with them now? So I know this, you need business 6 months from now, right? It's July, it's June 26th. Wouldn't it be nice to know that every single month from now till the end of the year, in, August, in October, in November, you're going to have 4 listings and 4 sales. Wouldn't that be fabulous to know? Yes. You can make that happen by filling the pipeline and creating that predictable, consistent income that is scalable and ultimately later in life saleable. But opportunities aren't lost, you guys. They're not lost. They don't dissolve. They don't vanish. They go to someone else. The people that we don't follow up with, they end up buying a house from someone eventually, right? So I want you to think, can I have a better follow-up system? It takes like 80% of sales happen after 5 contacts. Okay, yet, get this, 49% of the time we give up after the first contact. So there it is, right? And there are coaches out there that'll tell you only deal with the A leads. People ghost you 3 times, you should dump them and only go find more A people. Well, you guys don't have enough A people. And by the way, I'm okay with someone who wants to buy 6 months from now. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep them on my Gold pipeline. I'm going to deliver value. They're going to have a relationship with me. And when they're ready, you or me, right? I'm going to be the one that maximizes that opportunity and gets their business because you didn't throw them away. So I was giving this talk live at, I think it was at Long and Foster in Frederick, Virginia, Fredericksburg. And an agent there, her face was getting red. And I said, her name was Ruby. And I said, what's wrong? She said, well, I'm counting all the people that I threw away, she's like, I'm counting all the commissions I threw away because I followed that previous coach's advice. And so it's great if you have 55 A people all the time. Most of you don't have 55 A people. An A person would be 0 to 60 days to buy. Okay. Stop discounting the leads. All the leads are good, right? Just categorize them and then have a better follow-up system that adds value. That is how you're going to sell a house a week, right? You know, you need for 54 transactions, write this down, for 54 transactions, I'll tell you exactly how many buyer and seller leads you need. 54 times 1.5 is 81. So you don't need 81 people. You need 81 transactions. Leads, potential transactions. You'll close 85% of that, which will give you, closings of at least 54 or more. 81 potential transactions are, 41 listing leads and 40 buyer leads. Can you develop 40 buyer leads and 41 listing leads? Of course you can, right? Of course you can. That doesn't mean 80 separate people. A lot of your clients are buying and selling. It's one client with 2 transactions. So I want you to think about that. And then again, what is the lead cycle? Well, people come into our lives at varying stages. So this is okay. If you look at time blocking, how you spend your week, I need to list a house a week, sell a house a week. That is a priority for you. When you look at a lead and you say, okay, my job is to convert that lead into a client by adding value. This is where we drop the ball typically. And then from client to appointment, this is where we drop the ball. Like you have to get a buyer consultation on the schedule. The next step is for us to come in, Lisa and Mark, and do a consultation. This will only take about 15, 20 minutes. I'm going to have my loan officer come in. She'll come in for 5 minutes, introduce herself or himself, and provide you with some competitive rates that you can look at, right? Save you money, save you time. You don't have to go with them, but if you want to, they're here, right? Book that appointment. Book the appointments. We used to do the agency disclosure on the fly, right? On the hood of the car. And for the last 25, 30 years, I've been preaching, have a home buyer guide and add value. Please add value. When you sit down and you're at an open house and you give somebody the home buyer guide and you say, I have an exclusive home buyer guide. It's a listing prop, everybody. That thing is a listing prop. Okay, I see Patricia has a question. People ask me questions all the time about real estate and their needs. Are you saying we should schedule an appointment with them instead at their home? And Patricia, do you mean they're just asking you questions in general about real estate and they want to buy or sell, or they're just asking you questions? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute again. And I think go ahead. So can you unmute? I think your question is whether or not to schedule an appointment with someone at their home. The minute, I think I can answer it, and then you can, once you unmute, you can jump in. Contacts at the top are people you know, people you don't know. The minute someone indicates they have a question about real estate, they go on your pipeline. They go on the pipeline, they become an actual lead, right? They might be a C lead, which is 6 months plus. But yes, if somebody wants to talk to me about real estate, I'm going to say, are you in the market to buy or sell? And qualify them as to, do they just have questions about real estate, or do they want to actually move? And once I know they are thinking about potentially moving, or maybe they don't even know yet, I'm putting them on as a buyer lead or a listing lead.
Patricia, I think I'm unmuted now. Can you hear me? Okay. Well, so right now during the call, someone, a friend, asked me if I knew anyone who did 1031 exchanges. I know she owns investment property.
Yeah. Does she want to purchase them or sell a house and buy one?
See, I don't know. She asks me these kinds of questions all the time, and so do other people. And so I feel like I want to help them, but I feel like you just made me realize I should be getting, closing, not the deal, but getting an appointment, like you say.
Correct. Yeah. So everybody write down book appointments.
Yeah.
When you book appointments, so contracts happen right after the appointment. See this appointment, and then the next step is we write a contract. So I cannot write a contract for someone, a listing agreement, a buyer agency agreement, exclusive, or an offer to purchase if I don't have appointments. So every contact you make, some people go on the pipeline that haven't indicated, called you, asked a question. You just happen to know that they're going to move. You have that intuition. You can tell when people are moving sometimes before they actually call you, right? When you have this income roller coaster ride of making money one month, not making any the next, what it does to you is horrific, right? You have the up and down cash flow. It's crisis management. It's crisis selling. You are like this because imagine having 30 to 40 buyer leads and 30 to 40 listing leads on a piece of paper. And when you add that up, I mean, think about this, right? If I had 40 buyer leads and 40 listing leads at an average of $500,000 a deal, right? That's easy math. 80 potential leads at 500,000 is a $40 million pipeline. Some of you that do $20 million right now, like clockwork every year, if you did pen to paper, if you did this exercise, you will find that you have 30 to $40 million in absolute, what I call like bona fide, legit leads. You've just never looked at it on paper before. So to avoid that income roller coaster ride and create what I call consistent, predictable monthly income, instead of this, right, we're do this just straight up, okay? And here's what happens when agents put pen to paper, and they, I have an agent who does about 18 to $22 million a year every year, kind of plateaued. And she called me and she said, I want to make $1 million. And I said, let's do it. An agent revenue herself. We did the Gold Mine pipeline. First time she'd ever done it. She had $54 million on the pipeline. And she said to me, I am obsessed with this pipeline. I said, I want you to be obsessed with it. Why do we discount all these leads? Because we just want to see, we give our time and attention to 3 to 5 people at a time. Talking to all of you, like, you give your time and attention to 3 to 5 people. And guess what happens? If they buy, great. Then you spend 6 weeks closing those. If they don't buy, you had a 0 for the month in all categories. Also not great, right? So it's the starting over that happens at every level, whether you're doing 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, 20, 30 million, doesn't matter. I know this gold mine pipeline will revolutionize the way you look at a lead. It will keep you in a better follow-up system with those leads, keeping you connected to them. And it is building a backlog of future business. I call it the long game. We play the long game and we win every time. Every time we win. I stayed in touch with someone for 11 months. I didn't show them houses for 11 months. I stayed in touch with them for 11 months. 11 months. They ghosted me. You guys, they never called me. They never responded. They actually never responded. And I would tell them, hey, Sherri Johnson, I sent you some great properties. Let me know if you could see them this day or this day. Never responded. I even jokingly said, hey, let me know if you want me to stop calling you. I will. And then I laughed and said, no, I probably will still call you. Like, I don't even know if you're getting this. Okay. Text them, email, call, nothing. Like, that's not a hard no. That's a not right now. Okay. So you have to realize that all this future business, this backlog of future business is going to help you. It is a system. It is strategic, and building a backlog of people. You have to say to yourself, all of this is a paycheck. All of this pipelining turns into actual listing sales and income. You don't have a pipeline. You are literally winging it and doing whatever is coming at you. And I have a lot of people who say that to me too. I have so much referral business. That's awesome. And if you want to stick with that plan, by all means do. And keep doing the business that you're doing, right? So think about it. You want to build a $10 million pipeline? You can do that right now. If it means selling a house a week, 54 times a $400,000 average sale price is a $26 million pipeline. I need 85%, I need another 15% on top of that to shake out into 21 million. This is strategic and it works. And it works everywhere I go. I have thousands of examples. So I want you to look at this like the Alaskan pipeline goes on forever and ever and ever, right? So too does your pipeline. And if you have a huge lead source, I'm looking at some of you, I know you have teams, you pay for leads, you have to distill those lists down into something manageable for yourself or your team members. Our teams go from, 50 million to 100 million in less than a year because everyone goes on the gold mine pipeline. And when they go on the gold mine pipeline, right, the team leader now says, oh my gosh, I didn't realize my agents had this much business. They didn't realize they had, right? So we add up all of their pipelines and boom, suddenly a team that did, I did this with a team here in Cleveland. They did 46 million last year. Their combined pipelines came out to $95 million. That was before the team leader put his pipeline on there. So just the team members alone came up with $95 million of potential business. If you are running a team, this is the kind of coaching that you need, first of all. So look at this sheet. I've got this sheet in a PDF. You can scan it. I'll give you a code. If you don't have the pipeline, you can download the free giveaway of this system. Obviously, it works better when you're coached on it, but you're going to allocate all of your potential business as buyer sides, listing leads, add it up. When you monetize the value of the total of all of these opportunities, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I am a rock star. Okay. You will feel like the rock star you already are. I will tell you though, people's eyes get really big when they fill this pipeline out and they say, I had no idea I had this much business, right? I had no idea I had this much business. I mean, I remember you have so much unrealized business. I'll get to the story in a second, but think about it. What if you added it all up, categorized them as A, B, or C, right? 0 to 60 days is A, up to 6 months is a B, over 6 months is a C. Aren't you going to feel like you're playing more offense? You are going to be in proactive mode instead of reactive mode. You're going to be out of crisis selling and into what I call winning. You are going to be winning it all. We add your current closings, we add your current listings, and then we look at just the A's, and then we look at just the B's. So wouldn't it be nice to forecast for once in this crazy business? You don't ever forecast. You know why? Because it's crazyville, right? Like you are not in a position where you can go, wouldn't it be nice to look at the next 2 months and call me up and say, I know I'm going to have 6 listings in July and 6 listings in August, and I'm going to have probably 6 or 8 sales in July and 6 or 8 sales. And like, what if we could predict it and not only predict it, make it happen? That's what I'm talking about. And that's what we do through Gold Mine Pipeline. So scan this QR code if you want the free download. If you really want the free giveaway, like if you want the spreadsheet, we give our coaching clients, send me an email, send me a text. I'll send you the Google Sheet. It'll add up all your numbers for you. It's awesome. But this little ebook will give you kind of the play-by-play of what I'm doing right now. Okay. Now, how do you fill this thing quickly? 5 easy ways. I'm going to go through quickly. Take a screenshot if you want, take a picture. But this is so super easy. You have business already. I want you to scan. I want you to go back into your text messages, literally go back through your phone and scan through all of the messages. Go back to 2022 or whatever. Like just go up, take it all the way to the bottom and find the unengaged leads that exist in there. Because I remember being in Columbus, Ohio, and saying I had dinner with my team, and one of the team members said, I got a text that I just, since we did Gold Mine Pipeline, that said the hardwood floors are ready. And I said, oh, who's it from? She said, I don't know. I got to go look it up. Because they weren't in her phone. And she had to go look this person up, right? She had to go look it up. And she said, Sherri, this is a $600,000 listing prospect that I talked to 6 months ago. And I said, were they on your Gold Mine Pipeline? And she said, they are now, right? I mean, they weren't on our pipeline. She had a $30 million pipeline selling about $18 million a year. But think about that, right? How many unengaged leads can you think of? They're in your phone. I just missed a call from a man whose daughter wants to buy a home. I was able to get this appointment after listening to your $50,000 episode. Patricia Jordan, you just made my whole day. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay? Wow. That was awesome. Way to go. How much is the house? Drop in the chat how much the listing is, that or buyer is. That's awesome. Wow, is that fabulous? Whew, good stuff. All right, so the second tip to fill the pipeline, go back to your open house. Funny word, she's talking about open house follow-up. Go back through all of your open house leads, please. Okay, go back through your open house leads and find the leads, right? Think about this. Find the leads within your open house, okay? Like basically, all those people you didn't follow up with 4 months ago, highlight their names, put them on the Gold Mine Pipeline sheet, please. They are potential business. This is how you sell a house a week. This is how you maximize every single lead that comes your way. This isn't just about, who is today $1.3 million. Are you kidding me? That is fantastic. That is awesome. Made my whole week. Might have made my whole month. That's a really great story. Thank you for sharing that, you guys. She just has a client that she said, I was able to get the appointment after listening to you. What script did you use, Patricia? I think everybody would benefit from hearing that.
Well, you said it doesn't matter how many, can you hear me?
Yeah.
doesn't matter how many buyer's packets you prepare, because I'd always been obsessed with that. You said just get the appointment. So then it spurred me to keep calling people, and I just keep calling people. And the father is a client who's sold a condo to me 3 or 4 years ago, and I hadn't talked to him in a while. And out of the blue, I called him. But the point is, I wanted to get an appointment. You got that into my head.
Yeah, focus on appointments, because you can do an open house and pass out 25 buyer packets. And just what would you have done? Passed out 25 buyer packets, right? Your job is to close for the appointment. And then you didn't get it at the open house, but you said, I kept calling. 5 contacts, 80% to a yes. $1.3 million. That's awesome, everybody. That is just fantastic, Patricia. So everybody take what she just did and go do it. Okay. Focus on appointments, securing yourself appointments. All right. The open house sign-in is a quick way to fill the pipeline. And the next one I'm going to tell you is, and by the way, who cares if it was 5 months ago or 3 months ago? No one ever hung up on me or said, I can't believe you're calling this late. In fact, cute, quick story, not so cute, but impactful. I had a follow-up call event in my office. Stacy Watson, you might remember this. And she was one of my agents. And think about this. I had this call night, and I think 14 or 20 people came. I had pizza, cheese and crackers, wine, whatever. And this woman came up to me and said, I can't believe you're making me do these calls. Her name was Rosemary. And I said, Rosemary, I'm not making you do anything, but certainly you should have a better attitude before you go make a phone call. So go make some calls and let's get some appointments. She came back less than 30 minutes later, came up to my office, and she said, I'm so glad you made me make these calls, right? And I said, okay, what happened? Did you get an appointment? She said, I did. I got a listing appointment. I said, great. Where is it? She said, Georgia Lane. I said, oh, Savannah Estates. That's a nice listing, probably 400 or 500. She said, yep. I said, where did it come from? And she said, oh, you're going to be mad at me. I said, no, I'm not. Where did it come from? And she said, well, it was an open house lead from 2 weeks ago, and the guy was mad he hadn't heard from me yet. Okay. So I said, Rosemary, you probably could have gotten that appointment at the open house. She goes, yeah, I know, your whole script is coming into my brain. I said, for real though, you could have gotten that appointment the day of the open house and said, I'll see you Thursday at 5. I'll be over. She said, I'm going to do that next time. Now, thankfully, this guy didn't go list with somebody else or call somebody else. 75% of open house leads never get called, never get followed up on. We can close the appointment at the open house, and you're going to walk out of that open house and say, I have listing appointments. Now, second, so thank you for sharing that. I went off on an open house tangent. Sorry. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Client statements, your client statements that all those people you sold a house to, your client lists, you have a client list. These are people that bought and sold from you in the past, but let's be honest, that's your client list, right? My friend Alan Dalton always says, you don't have past realtors, call it your client list. It's not a past client list. So client lists and agent statements. Get a list from your company. Maybe you have the list. You should have the list in a CRM. Go through that list. And here's what my assignment is for you. You want to sell a house a week? Take the people off of the list and say, their house is getting emptied. People are graduating college. They're going off to whatever. Their house is too small. They're expanding their family and they need a bigger house. I want you to go down each client and think to yourself, will they be moving in the next 2 years? Yes, circle it. Take that name, put it on the buy side, put it on the list side. Right, Carrie Arias, you've done this exercise. And you're going to put people on there. And I know you haven't talked to them yet, but now you're going to call those people. And if nothing else, you're going to have a conversation with them and say, hey, I was driving by your house. Your landscaping looks great. That new front door looks awesome. I'd love to get together with you. That's it. That's how you're doing. But you put the names from the old list onto the new list, literally. I cannot, people that have only been in the business 3 years have done this, and they've gotten repeat business just from doing this over a 3-year period. So some of you have been in the business 15, 20, 30 years. Sometimes we do this exercise and people have 900 people on this list. What could you do? Go through the list and put people on the Gold Mine Pipeline. I will tell you to search your inbox, Google, Outlook, whatever you use, for the keywords like buying, selling, relocating, and find the unengaged clients in there, the unengaged leads that you haven't followed up on, okay? You might have some of these people in your CRM. Go find them. All you have to send to that entire list is something that says in the subject line, still thinking of making a move? Book an appointment with me. QR code. Click this link. Whatever. Call to action. Book an appointment with me. Okay? Now, of course, I think the best way to generate leads on the pipeline is to use all of my lead generation tools. So this slide I was going to skip over, but I didn't, so I'll share it with you. Obviously, I am in the lead generation, to coach you to generate more leads to put on the pipeline. So if you say, like, if you were to sit here and say, do I have 20 leads right now? Well, all of you have at least 10, right? 10 people that are going to move in the next 2 months to 2 years. When I say it like that, you think, oh, I do have people. If I expand it out to 2 years, okay? Fill the pipeline. And if you need to fill it by doing, by getting coaching or joining our academy or joining Playbook where you can have access to the academy, great. You don't have to do this alone. We have lead generation. We actually specialize in providing you with that. Now, I'm going to give you one other tip. I just had one of our teams that we coach in Houston. She sent out 35 text messages. She has 5 contracts written, 2 buyer contracts, 2 signs in yards. So 2 listings. She did this text sprint in May. Okay, May. 2 listings already listed, over 500 signs in the yards. They're going to sell. 2 buyer agreements. Okay, 2 buyer agreements. And then she told me yesterday or Tuesday, she said, I have a $600,000 commercial deal that I'm closing. I'll have signed tomorrow. I said, where'd that come from? She said, the text sprint. I said, one of the people on the text sprint bought a $600,000 commercial property. She said, no, they referred me to somebody. So what is the text sprint? You're probably like, what is she talking? What are you talking about? So I want you to walk away with this one. You send a text, take a screenshot, take a picture. If you do this, it's going to work, right? 20-minute text sprint gives you 20 minutes to intentionally text as many people as you can with this message. I don't put their first name in it because now I can just copy and paste it. Okay. Maybe you do 3 of these. That's 1 hour. What if you sat and sent people messages on purpose? And I have a class called 10 calls to 20 grand. Make 10 calls, you make $20,000. This is the same idea, right? 20 minutes to 20K. You want to raise the bar of your 10Xing. This is what you have to do. Okay. That's what you have to do. That's all. That's what you have to do. Okay. I see a question. I have to clean up my CRM. Good idea. I have consumers, but they have agents and they are loyal to those agents. Okay. Some of them send them to my website and their clients sign up for my website for alerts. Do I have a conversation with these agents? It's weird, right? I'm gladly made a comment. I would leave them on there. Maybe they even call them and offer your services. Here's what I would do. I would send them all an email and say, looking to purchase a home. I've been sending you emails for a while. I'm glad you're getting them. Click here for a buyer consultation. I will walk you through all the steps in the home buying process and I will get you, thank you, Patricia. I will get you set up, right? Not only, your only value is not to just give them the leads or the listings, right? It's to actually add value. So offer them a home buyer guide. If you don't have a home buyer guide, sign up for coaching. We'll get you one. We'll help you create one. But your goal is to add value to these people so that they actually hire you. And I don't think we're getting hired when we just send emails off on, Real Scout or whatever system you're using. That's good, but we want the stickiness. The stickiness comes from adding value. And what I mean by adding value is tremendous, radically differentiating value that's different than anybody else. They can't get it from anywhere else, right? Can you give them something better than just the emails of the listing, right? That's easy. Every agent can provide emails. That's why the MLS is not really, it's not a game changer. Everybody has the MLS. So my suggestion to you is that you offer them, I would offer them a copy of your exclusive home buyer guide. If you don't have one, let's make one, okay? The exclusive home buyer guide, massive game changer. It will literally help you get appointments. It's the hook that gets people excited about working with you. And to me, that is going to be the key. Now, the last thing I'm going to say about how to actually make sure that you sell a house a week, it's all going to come down to your daily routine and what kind of, intense, like, do you actually have a plan every day, or are you just kind of winging it, right? Like, I see people that to double the number of sales you do, regardless of what that number is, you have to double the number of appointments you go on. Seems pretty basic. When I learned that, I sat in my chair going, yeah, that sounds like that makes sense. Double the number of appointments you had, double the number of sales that you'll have. Number of listings, number of sales, right? If you don't have a listing appointment on the calendar right now, today, before the day is over, I want you to go make calls until you book yourself a listing appointment. Can we all do that? If you already have a listing appointment, I want you to actually go make calls anyway. Get another one, okay? If you have some houses that aren't selling, instead of trying to get a price reduction from those people, 25% of your inventory, 1 out of 4 listings is overpriced. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You should be maximizing that house and getting other sales from it. Instead of getting frustrated with that seller, here's the anecdote. The answer is go get more listings. Just go get more listings. That's the answer. It's a great answer. I love that answer. I'm sure you do too. You're like, Sherri, that's what you're telling me to do. And then time block the money hours. So we have to have a schedule that you time block lead generation. That means it goes on the calendar as an appointment, and that is going to change your life. This isn't about doing the first crisis of the day and going to the rest of your day, crisis to crisis. No. Being on offense means you have more days where you've scheduled yourself an appointment with your phone, an appointment with your laptop, an appointment with your CRM, an appointment with literally yourself to do nothing but book appointments. Sounds crazy, but that's the answer, okay? And here's what I'm going to tell you. Everybody loves, / hates this phrase. I just learned again from someone on my team today that done is better than perfect. I'm playing this slide. I'm showing this slide for you, Lee. And think about this. Like, how many times do we get hung up and nothing gets done or across the finish line because we're like making it perfect when 85% of it done and out is better than not having it done. Okay, so let's get out of our own way and let's realize that done is better than perfect. And that just means execution, premium on execution. Let's start before we're ready. We cannot afford to wait around until we think we have, like, I would rather you have 3 listing appointments right now and have no idea what you're taking. I'd rather you have listing appointments and have no clue what you're taking on those appointments. All right? We have to book the appointments, right? We have to. That's the bottom line. You just heard from Patricia Jordan. Yes, Joe Neal, you missed the first part. You're going to get a replay. Yeah, you'll get a replay in your inbox tomorrow. A year from now, you will wish you had started today. That's a real phrase, and it can change your life if you forward think. It's December. first of all, this is a year from now, but if we just fast forward to future months, you do the gold mine pipeline, you fill the calendar with appointments, you have a mindset that you're going to sell a house a week, and that is a goal that you are not wavering from, it will happen. Right? I can't motivate a satisfied person. If you're satisfied, you're going to say, that was a great class. I got something out of it. Your success is contagious for yourself. You get hired, like you close a deal, you're on top of the world, you get hired on a listing. They send you the notice that they're using you, you're getting the job, you just got hired again. That is when you go make 10 more calls, okay? I want you to make calls when your energy is up and your enthusiasm high and you are on top of the world. Melinda went from, oh my gosh, 3 million to 70 plus transactions. I think she's going to close 100 transactions this year from coaching. This agent in Chicago, she's also a coach for us, made $100,000 at one open house and potential business. Pretty cool. We just heard Patricia Jordan say she just closed a deal because she said, I used your script, which is literally, I don't even know the script. I think she just said, Sherri said to get an appointment. Instead of pass out busy work, passing out buyer packets, right? That's great. Lock down an appointment, tie down an appointment. Speaking of appointments, book yourself. Kristen, can you put in the chat this link? We'll just make it real easy. The chat has this link for a 20-minute free coaching call with us. Would love to have you. You can scan the QR code and we'll put in the chat. There it is, 20-minute call with Sherri Johnson Coaching. I'd love to look at your pipeline. We'd love to help you maximize a sale. We'd love to help you go into a neighborhood where you want business. We're even happy to talk to you about the coaching programs that we have. Our average ROI for an agent is about $150,000 of new income in less than a year. We've taken people from $350,000 in income to $1 million in less than a year. It's kind of fun. Wherever you are, we'll help you get to where you want to go. And frankly, like, work less and make more. I mean, that to me, that's not only is it possible, we do it all the time with people, and we can do it. We can do it with you. There's a 50% off coaching special if you would like to get 50 off your first month because you are in Catalyst Coaching. Let me give you that slide. I think it's this one. You can scan this, save up to $300 to $700 your first month in coaching. Of course, if you've already been in coaching, you want to get back on, you want to get back in, please, let's change your life. Okay. We can help you do that. We literally have all of the AI. We're teaching social, video, everything, all sales strategies, marketing, literally customized coaching for you. And it will help you get there faster. That's what I know. We take people. I had an agent, she went from $40,000 a year in income to $15,000 a month. It's a fun thing to do, to not only change your life, but what's another $100,000 or $200,000 of income do to your life from being in coaching, right? I mean, that's what we do. We take a motivated agent and get you there, accelerate your results. This offer is available. The other thing is you can join Playbook, which is literally a subscription to the Sherri Johnson Academy. You get access to probably almost 80 courses for sales agents, content, downloadable course content. The videos are about 5 to 10 minutes long on purpose, so short micro content. We add courses all the time. The 20-minute tech sprint is in there. There's a course on sell a house a week. That is in there. We have courses on how to go, 90 days to 100K, listings, buyers, everything that you would need, how to build a referral-based business with a VIP loyalty program. All this is available. What's nice is you can get it, just the access to the Academy library, or you can, for $99 a month, get one group coaching call, which will actually coach you live. So $49 a month gets you access. There's no contract. You can cancel anytime. $99 gets you access plus a group coaching call. And I see a bunch of appointments being booked. Thank you. That's awesome. You can connect with me direct. Here is my digital card. You can access, link all of my social channels from here. And I would tell you that, people join Playbook and then they say, oh, I want a private coach. They join private coaching and they skyrocket. Through my coaching program, you will be able to say, I sold 10 to 15 to 20 more houses a year because of Sherri Johnson's coaching. And I'm pretty proud of that. This isn't just a bunch of platitudes or a bunch of wishful thinking or exaggerated ideas. They actually are actual strategies that produce real results. And that I love. So I can assure you that, yes, you can join here. You get some coaching here, but the real magic happens when you are, with that coach one-on-one with successability. It's like accountability with success, right? Nobody really gets excited about average goals. We help you create ridiculous goals instead of realistic goals. I don't like realistic goals. And we help you literally double or triple your business. It's not an exaggeration. It's real. This is the free coaching call link in case you didn't see it or didn't get it from the chat. Happy to help you. I'm happy to stay on if you have any other questions. I'm excited. Next week's session, by the way, is I have it right here. It's creating a VIP loyalty program and taking your business to a 90+% referral business with a CRM. And I call that the continuous referral machine. I coined that phrase, continuous referral machine. And why is that? Right? Because you have contacts. And the purpose of customers is to generate more customers. And so we're going to show you how you can leverage your database and just work the database and never pay a fee for another lead ever again. There's nothing in Sherri Johnson Academy that says go buy leads. And I'm pretty proud of that. Carrie Arias. I've been following Sherri Johnson for 4 years. Oh, wow. Well, I thought you were asking a question. That's a very fabulous thing to say. Carrie Arias, everybody, in Atlanta, Georgia, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Atlanta, Georgia. Coaching client, fabulous person. And first of all, 4 million in sales for June. So 5 houses this month. Yes. Yes. I still have the card you gave me that says you rock. You gave me a card. It's on my shelf. Wow. That's a fantastic month of June. Let's do that every single month, guys. Listen, I wanted to sell 4 houses a month, right? Then I sold 8 houses a month. What can you do with a better plan and a better strategy? I promise you'll love the results. All right. So Stacy Watson, where can I watch some more replays? Well, those are in the Sherri Johnson playbook. If you're a playbook subscriber, you can see those. I believe, and maybe saying that wrong, but if you're a playbook subscriber, I believe you see all of these webinar replays. You can also go through your inbox. If you've registered for a session and you didn't make it, you still get the replay. Okay. So check your inbox, go to spam. Also, I'm glad I brought that up. You can opt in to Sherri Johnson newsletter and daily inspiration. So I'm about to launch a daily Sherri Johnson inspiration. If you want to have that via text, I'm going to send you an email called Catalyst Coaching by Sherri Johnson, and you can join that. It's totally free, and you can get a daily inspiration, motivational quote, an action item, and a strategy every single day that's going to help you. And I am just building like a phenomenal group of legacy of people sharing their talents. And if you are interested in that, you can join us literally daily. You'll get a text and an email from me, rather a short text and an email telling you exactly how to position your success every single day. So if you're already following me, you'll probably just automatically get that. But if you're only getting, some emails, just make sure, send me an email so that I'm whitelisted in your inbox as well. So we don't ever miss anything that is coming out content-wise. Guys, thanks for being here today. Does anyone have a question? I want to know if you're going to sell a house a week, right? I want to know. So you have to share your success stories, get back on next Thursday, get back on every Thursday, And by all means, if you're interested in coaching and taking your business to a whole new level, consider that strategy call and consider the investment in your life and in yourself, because we will take you to where you want to go. I'm Sherri Johnson. Thanks for being here today, everybody. To your success. Let's go make it happen. A house a week. I can't wait. All righty. Talk to you soon. Some of you I'm going to call because I need to meet with you. Yay.
Hey, Sherri, definitely would like to meet up with you too.
Okay. Did you schedule the appointment?
Yeah, I'm about to do that. I think mine is a little bit different. I just sent you a private message of what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So,
Perfect. I love it. Where are you out of?
I'm in like King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, but I'm also licensed in New Jersey. So mine's a little bit different because I have like 25 agents in my organization.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to motivate them and I can give them leads and stuff. But the problem with agents is the follow up. They don't follow up. So for me, it's like I'm
Yes.
trying to leverage that and I'm trying to, you know, be more hyper local and but just like give out leads, you know. But it's like hard to manage like 25 agents. You know what I
Well,
mean?
here's what I'm
But
going
it's
to tell you.
like,
Yeah. Our team. So I coach companies all over the country. They train their managers, like companies that have 7,000 agents, 3,000 agents. I train the management teams and I train team leaders, and the gold mine pipeline will create a system for them. And then every week, the team leader, you would meet with them and go through their pipeline. And so we are going to close the gap, Rizwana, of
okay.
having a pipeline and then having them do nothing. Like they should have an appointment goal every week. I have systems and forms for them to fill out every week. Our
Mhm.
team coaching is out of this world. So I have a team out of actually they're at Long and Foster in Baltimore region. They're up 39% this year
Right.
because of
Right.
coaching, and all their agents are brand new. They're all brand new agents and they're selling $1 million houses. They're selling 600,000 houses. They have a gold mine pipeline and I go through it with them. Our team goes through their gold mine pipeline every 2 weeks. And we taught them, we meet with the team leader twice a month as well. So that would be something for us to talk about, because that is going to close the gap. You're going to see
Right.
what's on their pipeline. You're going to be surprised. Someone who was just on this call a few minutes ago and had to jump, but we did the gold mine pipeline with her. And I'll tell you what was so crazy is that here's what's so crazy. They were at 140 million.
Hmm.
She said, we're never going to get to 200 million. And I said, yeah, you are. And she's like, why are you so
Yeah.
confident? And I said, because we just handed everybody the gold mine pipeline. So
Right.
that night we added it up. Her admin and I added up the gold mine pipeline. It was $231 million.
Right. Right. And that's what I did too. Like just my pipeline alone in my CRM is about 80 million there.
Correct.
Because like my top 8 guys, because I was looking at like all of my folks, my top 8 guys last year did 101 million. So I know we can pass the even 300 million mark because that's 8 out of 25, you know?
Correct.
So I'm like trying to
Correct.
motivate folks, but I'm like, you
No.
can't lead a horse to water, right? What do they
Well,
say? You
here's
can't
what
make
I
them
do.
drink.
Here, I believe, because people say that to me all the time, Sherri, you can't lead a horse to water. But what I'm going to tell you is we lead them to the water and then I fire hose them
I think that's
until
what they need.
until they get it. Okay. And if they don't
Yeah.
get it, like the team that's up 39%,
Yeah.
we dropped 2 of them because they couldn't do it. And we were like,
Yeah.
good. I like us fast. No, you're not going to do the work. We respectfully take your resignation, and they quit. And that's
Yeah.
okay. We have
Yeah.
7 people. Actually, it went from 7 to 5. So we have 5 rock stars. Okay. And they have an $80-some million pipeline. He's got these, they're all brand new people. So
Right.
we can make that a reality for you. Absolutely. So make sure you book it. I'll make sure that I'm
Okay.
on the call with you and you don't go to somebody on my team.
Yeah,
So
for
did you
sure.
send me a message, I think?
Yeah, I sent you a
Awesome.
message.
Perfect.
And then yeah, because like my thing right now is like I'm an expert social media AI. I have 90,000 plus on my
Love
IG
it.
right now. So like for me, I'm like, I just need to get quality agents, you know what I mean? Versus like people who are just don't take accountability. I just let go of 3 people. So I
Yeah.
totally
And
get it. But I want to take everyone to that next level. So
that's right.
I'm very grateful to be on this call because I think you can
Good.
help them.
Good. What company are you with?
EXP.
Okay. Whose organization?
Like who am I under?
Yeah, how'd you find me?
I don't know. It was emailed to me, so that was like the whole thing. Like I'm not sure how
Nice.
we even
Okay.
met.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go find out because I think this is a great call. I will set that up with you this afternoon.
Okay.
I'll text you. Anybody else? Thank you, Rizwan. I'm excited.
You're
I
welcome.
know we can help you. I know it. This is what I do, right? I add
Yeah.
another 400 or 500 for a team your size. It's like another 150.
Yeah, easy.
300, 400 actually.
Yeah.
So companies, that have 25, we have 25 agents in an office. It's another in GCI. It's insane. So
Yeah.
absolutely, we can help you. So I've got, I see a bunch of you still on. You're amazing. Everyone, please make it a point to take action, because if we don't take any action, right? Like you will be sorry. You will be regretful, and that's not good. I want you to win. I want you to see yourself winning. I want you to go out there and light it up. And I want to hear your success stories. Carrie Arias, way to rock it. 4 million in a month. Keep it going. Everyone who's on, thank you for being here. I know your time is important. Let's go make it happen. Go make those calls right now. Do your 20-minute text sprint. Download the Goldmine Pipeline. Even if you've done it in the past, I want you to do it again. And I want you to look at it every single day. And I want you to cross those people off and get them into appointments, get those appointments into actual listings of signs and yards, and then sales, and of course, closings, and of course, income. You will make it happen. I know you can. I know you will. And I'm here to help you. I'll see you guys next Thursday for CRM, continuous referral machine. We'll have a probably shorter session. Sorry, you're still here. I'm not sorry. You're amazing. And I can't wait to help you in any way that we can. Book that free strategy call or sign up for coaching. I'll see y'all soon. Thanks.